You're angry all the time, at everything, at everyone. Traffic makes you rage. Your spouse's tone sets you off. Your kid's noise pushes you over the edge. Someone looks at you wrong and you're ready to explode. You're on a hair trigger, constantly irritated, always on edge, and you hate it. You hate who you become when you're angry. You hate the things you say, the way you make people feel, the fear in your kids' eyes, the distance it creates with your spouse, the way you snap at people who don't deserve it. You hate it, but you can't stop. You've tried. You've tried to control it. You've walked away. You've made wudu. You've counted to 10. You've tried breathing techniques. You've listened to lectures about patience, about controlling your anger, about remembering Allah, and nothing works, nothing sticks. The anger is still there, waiting, ready to explode at the smallest thing. Here's why. You're treating the symptom, not the disease. You're trying to control your anger, but anger isn't your problem. Anger is your symptom, your shield, your protection. You're not an angry person. You're a hurt person who never learned how to grieve. Anger isn't your character, it's your defense. It's easier to be angry than to admit you're broken. Easier to rage than to cry. Easier to blame than to heal. And now anger is your default, your first response, your automatic reaction, but it's destroying you and everyone around you. This isn't about anger management. This isn't about walking away or making wudu or controlling your temper. This is about why you're angry, what's underneath it, what you've been avoiding, and the answer will change everything. Anger is never the first emotion. It's always covering something deeper, something you don't want to feel, something you learned to hide. Psychologists call anger a secondary emotion. It's what you feel after the first emotion surfaces, after hurt, after fear, after shame, after powerlessness. You're not angry at your spouse. You hurt that they don't see you, don't appreciate what you do, don't understand what you're carrying. But hurt feels weak, vulnerable, so you convert it to anger. You snap, you criticize, you withdraw, because anger protects you from admitting that their indifference hurts. You're not angry at your kids. You're overwhelmed, exhausted, unsupported. You're carrying more than you can handle, and no one sees it. No one helps. No one acknowledges how hard you're trying. But overwhelm feels like failure, like you're not strong enough. So you rage instead. You yell. You lose it, because anger feels stronger than admitting you're drowning. You're not angry at the traffic. You're stressed, anxious about being late, about what people will think, about letting people down. But anxiety feels out of control, so you channel it into rage at the car in front of you, at the red light, at the driver who just cut you off. Because anger gives you something to do, something to blame, a target. Here's the truth. Every time you're angry, something else is happening first. You feel hurt, fear, shame, powerlessness, grief, and then immediately, without even noticing, you jump to anger. Because anger is safer. Anger feels powerful. Anger says, don't mess with me. Hurt says, I'm already broken. You learned this. Somewhere along the way, you learned that showing pain makes you vulnerable, that crying makes you weak, that admitting your hurt opens you up to more hurt. So you stopped feeling those things. Or you feel them for half a second and immediately cover them with anger. Anger became your armor, your shield, your protection. But here's what you don't realize. That armor is suffocating you. You've worn it so long, you forgot it's not who you are. You think you're an angry person, but you're not. You're a hurt person wearing anger as protection.
And until you take off the armor and feel what's underneath, the anger will never leave. Every time you snap, ask yourself this: what am I actually feeling right now? Not anger. What's under the anger? Stop for 1 second and feel it. You'll find hurt, fear, shame, powerlessness. That's the real emotion. Anger is just the bodyguard. It's protecting you from feeling what you're not ready to admit. Anger is grief's bodyguard. It protects you from feeling what you're not ready to admit. You lost something. Maybe it was years ago. Maybe it's ongoing, but you lost something. And you never mourned it. You never cried over it. You never named it. You just kept moving, kept surviving, kept pretending you were fine. And that loss, it turned into rage. Maybe your childhood wasn't safe. Maybe your parents fought constantly and you learned that home is a war zone. Maybe your father was never present emotionally and you grew up feeling invisible. Maybe your mother was critical and nothing you did was ever good enough. You lost safety, you lost presence, you lost unconditional love, and you never grieved that loss. Maybe you were betrayed